get your 200th episode bicentennial long tee this week. And I got to thank the designer, Alicia Cole, for a great design of the logo. Thank you, Alicia. Just in time for fall. It's at castropolis.net. Look for the details. We don't take a lot of advertising money because we want to keep the message pure. We want to deliver it the way it should be delivered. So this is a fun way and a sporty way to support the podcast. And we just appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, man. 200 episodes. A lot of you have been here since the beginning. A lot of you have found us along the way, and we just appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Go to castropolis.net and order your limited edition bicentennial shirt today.
This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 202 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. Tommy B is in the house. How y'all doing? Each week we do news, politics, pop culture. That piping hot tea from the one and only Tonya B, man. And this week we got a ton of stuff, man. Talib Shabazz joins us. And we're going to talk about the Diddy lawsuit and the one-day settlement. Can the Supreme Court really police itself? We'll talk about that too. And a smokeless Snoop Dogg. Who would have thunk it? But it's true apparently. So we'll talk about it. And finally, Andre 3 Stacks and the Flute, man, have people talking. We'll talk about that. Tonya B has your tea. So let's go ahead and get started with news from Syracuse. Mike, what you got, man?
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
The Supreme Court announced Monday a new code of ethics. AURN's Ebony McMorris explains.
Now, the development comes after months of news stories questioning the ethical conduct of Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito. This code comes from an existing one from lower courts, but tailored to the unique institutional settings of the Supreme Court. However, details on how it will work, who will enforce it, and its potential impact on financial disclosures remains unclear. Critics have expressed concerns about the lack of concrete enforcement mechanisms, which some say without a robust oversight, ethical rules may lose their meaning. The court mentioned the need for additional resources for reviewing recusal and ethics issues, indicating potential challenges and implementation. While the court's action is seen as a response to public criticism, questions persist about how the rules will be enforced and whether they will satisfy critics. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
The White House says they have confirmed that Hamas is holding hostages at the largest hospital in Gaza. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby.
Hamas operate a command and control node from Al-Shifa in Gaza City. They have stored weapons there, and they're prepared to respond to an Israeli military operation against that facility.
Once again, Democrats stepped in and supported another Republican speaker's plan to avoid a government shutdown. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries spent time Tuesday quietly telling the Democratic caucus that Speaker Mike Johnson's stopgap two-step spending plan is a win for them. Now, money for certain agencies in this plan will expire on January 19th, while the remaining agencies would be funded until February 2nd. 5 of 9 Georgia Republicans and all 5 Democrats in the state's delegation voted in favor of the bill. While a handful of Republicans are furious with Johnson, at this point, no one is threatening to have him kicked out as Speaker like they did Kevin McCarthy. Fulton County DA Fani Willis says the Georgia election trial could go into 2025. In an interview at a Washington Post Global Women's Summit, Willis also said the upcoming presidential election season did not factor into the timing of the case. Through their attorney, Breonna Taylor's family says they will continue to seek justice after a mistrial was declared in the federal trial of a former Louisville police officer.
Of course, the family is disappointed. This is not the outcome they wanted, but we are here for the long game.
Brett Hankinson fired 10 shots in a botched raid that ended Taylor's life in 2020. Sean Diddy Combs has been sued by singer Cassie. She's also his former girlfriend. She alleges he raped and sexually trafficked her over a 10-year period in a drug-fueled lifestyle. According to the lawsuit, Combs took control of Cassie's life, including her health care and her career. The New York federal court lawsuit also names as defendants Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment, Epic Records, and Combs Enterprises.
Thanks for the headlines, Mike. NewsMaker Crew is here. Y'all give it up for the one and only Talib Shabazz. I'm gonna call him Shabazz today, man, because he on the grind. Things we go through. It's all good, bro. We work hard to bring it to him, don't we? You know.
Indeed. I just hope it's appreciated. You know.
I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Hey, you know, let's go ahead. Let's get into it, man. And you know what? I'm not trying to deal with the headlines. Mike's already gone through the major headlines. What I really want to deal with, man, because you've got history with some of these folks and just in the industry, the music side, the Diddy lawsuit, you know, and when this went down, Mike sent the headlines over, and as soon as he sent his headlines over, it was settled. It's settled. You know, so, you know, you've heard the details, you know, of the lawsuit from Mike's report. As of our taping, again, it's been settled. NPR is reporting the announcement was made. We tape on Saturday, so it was made on Friday. And it came via the statement from Cassie's attorney, Douglas Wigdor. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but her full name is Cassandra Ventura. The statement says Diddy and Cassie have reached a deal to mutual satisfaction. No terms have been disclosed. Ventura's statement says, and I quote, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Combs' statement reads, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." End quote. Lawsuit man had some damaging statements. And I'm just going to, you know, I want to get into the damaging statements, then I'll throw it to you because it was kind of crazy. Yeah. And honestly, I think he did the right thing by settling based on a lot of these statements that were being made. And when you go to theroot.com, they had pointed out 5 shocking allegations. The physical abuse, the rape, the fact that, well, I'm not saying the fact, allegedly, she would be bruised, bloodied, and Diddy would pay for her to stay in a hotel until she healed. That was one of the shocking allegations that came out from Cassie. Drug-induced memory loss, claims that he introduced her to the lifestyle to the point where I think she's having to do MRIs, just mind-boggling the way that allegation came out. Sex trafficking, using her with escorts to film was one of the other allegations. Blowing up Kid Cudi's car, another allegation. And then finally dangling well, there's more to it, but the thing that theroot.com saw as shocking was the fact that he was doing a big red from the 5 Heartbeats, dangling one of her friends off the 17th balcony floor. Right. When you what do you hear, man? When you saw this, what was the first thing you thought, Talib?
Well, you know, in the industry, there has been talk for years about the relationship that Cassie and Diddy had. So none of this was terribly surprising. You have a man that's been able to have somewhat of a Teflon appearance, you know, since the beginning of his career. Mm-hmm. You know, the infamous Stampede at the Step Show in New York, or the celebrity basketball game in New York, with him and Heavy D, you know, that, you know, somebody got trampled. There was never any real charges with that. He's been able to escape, any jail time, any, offenses with the Shine incident.
With Jennifer Lopez, going back to the club,
So, you got somebody that's probably, I don't know, because I've only met Diddy a couple of times. But, you might have somebody that's really feeling like, they're invincible.
The interesting thing about you saying that, invincibility, people are also bringing up Kim Porter. I don't even want to get into that conversation.
I know Kim because of, Ebony Electra. and a few of her peeps, that whole little crew that they would run around with, and she didn't really have an easy time with Diddy either. So, it's unfortunate. I mean, and now we're even hearing rumors about, Diddy's connection with Keefe D, the person who's been arrested in the Tupac murder.
Yeah.
So, you can only do dirt for so long before it catches up with you. You know, some people it takes longer. Some people are able to present, this appearance of I'm this great person, all the while behind the scenes, they're just a terrible person. So I'm saying all that to say that no, these allegations should not have been shocking to anybody, who was anywhere around the industry, because there have been talks about this kind of behavior for a while. To what extent, to the extent of, Diddy having male escorts come and just, serving Cassie, back to back. I've never heard anything like that. But, man, when you get that high up on the food chain, there are all kind of freak stories that surround you at that point. He joined
It's like a modern day Ike and Tina Turner, man.
I mean, it's even beyond that. It's that. It's Me Too. It's R. Kelly. It's there's so many aspects to the story between Diddy and Cassie that it's just like, yo, what are y'all doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Really, is having that much money, the catalyst for just becoming a freak?
Yeah. I'm here to tell you, man, the quickness or the speed in which this thing was settled.
You already know. It's either
volumes.
Right. It's either she really does have something to say.
Yeah.
That is damaging. That, or the fact that he's about to be dealing with so much other stuff that he doesn't even have the time for this.
That's a good point.
I mean, so it's I hate to see any melanated person take a fall, and I'm not wishing ill on Sean Combs for any reason whatsoever. We've had our issues and it's been settled, so I'm not even tripping about anything like that. It's really just like, yo, man, you got to stop. You know what? Let me say this, Talib. It was Knives Out, dog.
when Cassie came out, when that lawsuit hit, it was Knives Out on Twitter. Everybody who had a beef came up. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Look, man, you can't do dirt and not expect it to catch up with you at some point, especially
Knives Out.
When you're this. You know what I mean? Like, the money shield only lasts for so long, and now they're about to spend him out with all these lawsuits. He's probably just like, yo, man, cut the loss, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amicable my ass. Amicable. That's the legal term for today, kids. Yeah. In every divorce or every settlement, amicable. It means somebody took it.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on, man. Next one. Snoop giving up smoking. Now, this is kind of, in my opinion, shielded. It's a how do you say it? It's cloaked, this statement. What do you think that means? He's giving up smoke. I have my opinion, but you go.
Well, I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Just come with it.
I really don't know what would make him do that at this point in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the point where he has to announce it. Or maybe he's just maybe. I mean, this is a guy who has Snoop Dogg vapes. There's a line of Death Row vapes. So are you giving up smoking, really? But you're still selling smoking products?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think part of this, Talib, in terms of I guess, because he asked for privacy. It's almost like you have a death in the family, and I ask for privacy in this matter. That was his statement on IG. Right. But it's almost like I think he is heavily invested in this. He's the how do you say it? High Times Magazine's man of the millennium.
Yeah,
century.
Between him and Cypress Hill.
Oh yeah. So, from a standpoint of giving up smoke, I think it means maybe. I mean, I don't think he's giving up cannabis.
Right.
Maybe he'll go from smoking to ingesting more, edibles and things like that. But I don't see him giving up cannabis. But you know what? This could be a health concern.
That's what I was saying. I hope that this is not, a health related incident. I hope it
feels that way to me.
It does. But, the thing is that, look, smoking is bad, whether it's weed, whether it's tobacco, hookah, whatever shisha, whatever you want to call it. Anytime you ingest smoke into your lungs, it's not good for your body.
Yeah, so it's a bad habit, man. It's a nasty habit. Yeah.
Indeed. And, I've dealt with that demon, what I mean, too. So it's like, at some point you got to let it go.
Yeah.
Just as a change up, and that's what I'm saying. Being that he didn't really have too much information in regards to why, I'm hoping that it's not a health related thing where, it's something serious and he has to give it up. I think, I'm hoping that he just wants to, and this is just, for spiritual or, personal development.
That's a shocker.
Come on, man. For 30 something years, man, in the face of weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who's next? Cypress Hill?
Right, exactly.
I mean, who's next? I don't know. But I hope all is well with his fam. Snoop, has become and turned out from his challenges in the beginning to be a good guy, a real good guy, for the business, for the industry. Yeah. So I hope really and truly everything turns out well. Yeah. Finally, man, before we get into your big takeaways, I do want to acknowledge, man, the new Blue Sun album project from Andre 3000. I had a chance to listen to it, and I'll tell you, I loved it. And the reason be maybe because, I used to listen to New Age, and I was into like Andreas Vollenweider, and I like, Esmeralda Spalding's new project, and, stuff like that. But I will say, man, I think he took a lot of ridicule before it dropped because people are like, oh, you're going to be playing a flute. What do you hear all this crap, you read all this. But honestly, it's a real project. It is 87 minutes. It's the real deal. We had heard in between about him doing rap stuff, and whenever you go, it's like on SoundCloud and it sucks. It's just some stuff but this is a real project, and I'm glad he did the warning for for those of you who wanted to go in shock and come out cussing. He said no bars. Warning, no bars.
Right.
So I don't want you to go out, stream this, and be shocked. Again. I think, man, and I'm going to say this, I don't think these times deserve Andre, and I say that because he gave that whole Outcast vibe and the Dungeon Family vibe, even going into, the CeeLo and Goody Mob and the whole vibe of that. Right. I don't know, these are toxic ass times, man.
Truly.
And I just don't know if Andre in the form of Andre back in the day can be appreciated during these times, because the irony is Drake comes out too. And how much more toxic. I'm sorry. Just let me, I digress. But I'm just saying, I don't, people will say, well, we want him to come back. Man, I don't really want him to come back. It's kind of like Prince. when I my appreciation, and I always, I'm sorry, I always mention Prince on this show, so y'all know what the deal is. But my point is, it's like, certain artists leave this legacy at a certain point in time that just can't be recreated. I don't think you can recreate Outkast. I'll throw it to you. I don't know if you've heard the new project. That's just me. Go ahead.
No, I needed a few days to listen to it, to let the hype die down just a little bit, because right now everybody's throwing opinions. Yeah. What I have heard people talking about is the fact that it's a very relaxing album. So whereas, people didn't really come into this knowing what to expect at all, when they put it on, they're like, they could see where an album like this could fit in their life. And I love that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Because here it is, this is a guy who people respect for his craft, and what he's doing is, once again, he's pushing a boundary. I mean, what was the big commercial back in the day? Zamfir, the master of the like we wouldn't be caught dead. Right, we wouldn't be caught dead listening to an album like that. How many Native American masters have come out with albums, around flute, around that, that type of recorder type flute sound. And no one would ever think about even checking anything out like that. Yeah. But the fact that here is, 3 Stacks, not only doing it, but doing it well. Like the little GQ commercial, the way the sound, the fact that his tone is unwavering. I mean, when you play I don't know if most people started any kind of instruments with the recorders.
Well, I played the clarinet in elementary school, so I get it.
How hard was that to get a tone out of, and one even tone out of that clarinet?
Dude, it's tough. I mean, exactly. and Millennial played the bassoon.
Right. So even, because that,
that's a wicked.
Right. And that, you know what I mean? So again, the fact that Dre is able to still mobilize his fan base in this kind of manner, to me is outstanding. And it shows that there is a level of growth, not only in him, but in the audience as well, because he's still able to take them with him. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that he feels that being a 48-year-old rapper is not something to be proud of, or, because he's so talented with it. You know what I mean? And, he does there are a couple of artists that kind of move the needle when they drop a release. De La Soul was like that, to me, because you could see, like, as when De La Soul's albums would come out, the thought process, some of the things that they would talk about subject matter wise would be so relevant that you could see things moving, even if it wasn't the fact that people were listening to De La and moving that way.
It's like they changed the game. It's almost, I mean, would you not say like Tribe was like that?
Tribe kind of too, because musically, with their sound and everything, again, these are groups that kind of move the needle. So when it comes out, you see things around it moving, and Outkast is definitely one of them. Now, I really want to see where the remixes come in, because that's what's about to happen. That's what's about to happen. You're about to see this Andre's Flute album done with in a remix package,
You think so?
Oh,
you think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I mean, I catch myself and I pull back on calling it quote unquote background music, because honestly, that's disrespectful. It's not.
It's definitely, from what I've heard, it's mood music.
Yeah, it's a vibe. When I first listened, I waited it came out at midnight, and I was right there, and I waited for it to drop on Apple Music, And I streamed the whole 87 minutes because they did not release any clips. They didn't release any singles. They released it all at once right after midnight. And I will tell you, I mean, I'm chilling. It's midnight and it's playing and it's engaging. It really does. If you are, and I'll say this, man, I really think it's kind of necessary right now because there's so much, the culture is, come on, man, it's toxic as fuck right now.
We'll see.
Without a doubt. And to have something like this come out at a time when we're really at a toxic peak. Even when you look at hip hop, you look at the ladies and what they're doing, unfortunately, it's not, ladies first. Queen Latifah, it's just 180. I think it's like a good time for a pause. In my opinion, like Andre, it's a pause. Yeah. We got everything going on in the world right now. We got the politics going on in the world right now. It's just when you listen to it, it's a pause. And how many times in a lot of our culture's life will we have something where we're going to sit down for 87 minutes and not do anything and kind of really be at a pause
and take it in. See, that's what I'm saying. That the fact that people have done that.
Yes.
Style of music that they would never have done that to before is already should be showing everybody that people are receptive. We've been selling these audiences short for so long, musically, that we wind up with the Sexy Red and with the bongos and with all this other crap that we've got right now. And, and again, I'm not trying to diss that music because all of this music has a place.
Everything has a place. You're right.
The only thing that I talk about and that I really want to express is there's an imbalance. There's an imbalance to this whole thing. And I think that even with Dre playing a flute, that means that somebody somewhere is going to pick up an instrument, a real instrument, and really integrate that into whatever they're doing in the hip hop field. And those are the things that I'm looking forward to. What happens next, regardless of what happens with Dre's album, even if it totally sucked, the fact that people, like you said, pause for a minute, took that in. Yeah, we're about to see some changes. You know what I mean?
Let me say, man, when I go on Twitter. I went on Twitter just to kind of read some of the things that people were saying.
Yeah, you saw some of the memes.
Well, it was, it could have been mean. Could have been mean-spirited. But the thing that helped me navigate this project versus an Outkast project.
Okay.
I listened to his NPR interview.
Okay.
I listened to the full hour of his interview, and I heard how dedicated he is to this and how knowledgeable he is of it. And it's like, dude is serious. It's not like I am just, kind of throwing this out there and see what happens. No, this is my life. This is my creative life, and so when I heard it, I enjoyed it, but it made me enjoy it more knowing that he's really dedicated to it. And I'm really proud of him, man, and happy for him. He's gone through some craziness, or I don't want to say not in a, not in a clinical way, just, the hysteria, and, when people disappear, how people want to label them as hermits and all this. He's, it's kind of gone through that, but he's kept his, he's kept himself, in my opinion. Yeah. He's held on to who he is. And I think this album is truly who he is. So when I heard it, even when I think back to Hey Ya and all this stuff that was very different for the time versus, you know what I mean? That was different kind of Andre. Even when you look at the Love Below Speaker Box, you see how different his stuff is from Big Boy. Truly. It kind of fits his personality.
Truly. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, hey, bro, I'm proud of that dude.
I am too.
Because he took something serious. It's not like he just said, you know what, I'm gonna play a flute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't hate to say it. I mean, people copycat Drake, Ye, just take shit and just run with it,
right?
Put nothing into it and say tomorrow I'm going to be this, or even Diddy,
right?
You know, just vultures. You know, but this is something that he truly embraced and created from not just popularity, something that's not very popular, but he's going to make it mainstream. Not that he cares. I don't think he cares. I think he really just.
I mean, but you know,
I don't think he cares.
Well, the thing is that, you know,
I think he's glad it's embraced.
I would definitely say that, you know, as somebody that has, you know, a personal relationship with 3 Stacks, you know, he was in a quandary because he didn't want to be a 40-year-old rapper. And I was like, you know, like,
but can you blame him?
Well, you know, honestly,
consider what's going on now, though.
Right.
And can you blame
look at right, exactly. But you know that the thing is that there are people who, when the talent is that innate, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything else outside of whatever that talent is, but that talent still has to be recognized, bro. You know what I mean?
What you can do it on an old school tour. He can still do the touring. You know, that's no different than, you know, okay, I listen to a lot of different types of music. It's just like Earth, Wind, and Fire still touring. You still got Philip Bailey, who's a hell of a singer. Yeah, you don't want to negate or bury the talent of a Philip Bailey if he can still sing Reasons, you know?
Yeah. Right.
But it gets sad when on the opposite side, when you see a Frankie Beverly struggling, you know, that's the different side.
Exactly.
That's the dark side of it when, hey, it's time to give it up. It's almost like, here's my thing, and I'll end it. I'll throw it to you for, you know, for your big takeaway. It's like trying to recreate Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson 90s can never be recreated. That ain't gonna happen. You know, you can say, well, Mike's coming back. No. Mike will never come back. I mean, physically, it's not humanly possible for him. But you know what I'm saying? People want that. It's like, I want to see Mike Tyson come and knock somebody out. No, you won't see that again.
Right.
And that's why certain artists, you just won't get that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, can you really create Mike Tyson again? I don't think so. But that era.
It would be difficult because, you know, again, it's not just that person. It's not just that talent. It's all of the energy around that talent and supporting that talent and that whole groundswell. And it's difficult to do it a second time for one individual, you know, and it's also difficult to see that kind of energy happen again. You know, that's why it's celebrated so much when we do.
Yeah, so true. Hey, what's your big takeaway? You got a big takeaway for the week, man? Or have we covered it all?
Yeah, can we give Ron DeSantis the big boot? Can we give him some kind of? That dude is almost out of here, man. He's almost out of here. He hasn't announced it yet, but the writing is on the wall. The writing is on.
Like Tim Scott.
Oh man! Oh, it feels so good.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, because I was reading a couple of articles this week, and they were talking about how DeSantis, you know, he's being that he ran for president the way that he did, and he's been the way he's been making his moves. You know, he's going to be pretty much They said that DeSantis will pretty much have nowhere to land after he terms out of governor. You know what I mean?
Nah. Hey. Goodbye, nigga. What you got, man? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I just had to say it.
So yeah, man.
I had to throw some Dave Chappelle in there.
You know, I think we need you need a sample. You're right. Either that or a sample of Queen. Another one bites the dust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That dude, man. I'm telling you, these people, they're falling by the wayside, and I love to see it, man. Their policies are terrible. They are obviously only here for personal betterment. So no, get them gone. We need people that are really going to want to serve in the public's interest, not in their own. So I'm off with his head. That's what we need. We need off with his head.
I'll get that. Right. Hey man, my big takeaway, man, Supreme Court. Come on, y'all. Come on. No wonder we don't have police reform. They can't even come up. We've come up with ethics rules, but we don't know. But they don't. Nobody knows who's going to actually apply the rules. Right. So they're going to be policing themselves. Really?
That's where we are right now.
So Mike's report, Mike talks about the fact that the Supreme Court has come up with ethics rules and no one knows at all how it works. What the fuck?
It's like, yo, man, this is bizarro world. We are truly in bizarro world right now.
Truly, the highest court in the land will be applying rules that nobody understands, that no one knows how they work. Just amazing. No, I just had to say that.
They announce it right now. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. These things have, there's been so much that's been done in the dark. Yeah. That I guess people really have gotten comfortable with it because now they're saying the quiet parts out loud.
Yeah, so
it's showing people should be the voting public of America should be taking note right now at what all of these clowns are doing. This lip service that they've been giving us for years is not going to cut it anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, y'all, we'd love your thoughts. Go to castropolis.net, choose the people poll. You can leave us a message. You ain't got to be all that brave and bold. Just leave a message. I'll play it back. I'm not going to. Come on. I guess they think I'm a clown them if they do it, but go ahead and do it. Thanks. And big thanks to Talib Shabazz, NewsMaker Crew. Appreciate you, man. Jumping through hoops.
Oh, man.
Doing your thing.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead. We'll take a break and we'll come back with Tonya B and the T. Thank you, Talib.
Peace.
More. This is the G Podcast after the break.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
All right, Tommy B, here we go. It's been a real interesting week in entertainment news. I've got some headlines for you. But before I do that, I just want to remind everybody, this is a G Podcast each and every day. Go download every single daily show. Go to the YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. All right, let's get to it, Tommy B. Gotta say rest in peace to one of the co-founders of the legendary Kool and the Gang. I call him Funky George Brown, but most people call him George Funky Brown. One of the best, most sampled, prolific, amazing drummers to ever pick up drumsticks. Do you know that he was in the group for 59 years? It's been the only job he's ever had, so to speak. Lost his battle with lung cancer, but man, talk about the songs he was involved in creating. And along with Robert Kool Bell and JT Taylor, I'm talking like Ladies Night, Celebration, Get Down on It. My goodness, he leaves an amazing musical legacy, and now the only original last man standing member in the group is Robert Kool Bell. What a loss. You know what, Tommy B, Justin Timberlake thinking about suing Britney Spears for what she wrote in that book. You know what, that's karma. We never forgave him for 2003 with Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl, so I'm starting the list. Justin, you go sit in the corner and learn how to fold some laundry. You'll have some company real soon. Let's see now. Another L.A. Reid sex abuse lawsuit, another Bill Cosby sex abuse lawsuit. Y'all go over there in the corner with Justin Timberlake. Is it a stunt, or has Snoop Dogg really given up weed for the last time? You know, he owns a weed company. Maybe he'll just go to edibles. But maybe at age 52, Grandpa Snoop is trying to save his lungs, much like Willie Nelson, who at the age of 90, had to stop smoking weed. Okay. Well, Will Smith has a former assistant. We'll just call him Bum B for now. Yeah, bum is in. He is a straight up bum. Dumb Donkey of the Week. Tried to shake Will down for money. He's the one that came out with this scathing story about finding Will Smith and Dwayne Martin slapping skins, but I'll just say, Bilally B, you're a bum. Anyway, I said it. Not allegedly. That's my opinion. It does not reflect the views of the Castropolis Podcast Network. But one thing I am glad about is that Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff will be reuniting. I'm so excited, and it feels so good for the Grammys 50th anniversary tribute to hip hop. It comes on CBS on December 10th. Keke Palmer is hosting the Soul Train Awards next week. She's performing as well at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so she'll be busy. But let me ask you, will you watch? Because people don't watch award shows too much anymore. Now, you know, her mother went straight Baltimore, and she's admitting that she lied to Keke's estranged baby daddy, what's his name, Jackson, to keep him from further allegedly abusing Keke by saying that Usher was gay. Well, I also heard she cussed him and his brother out back to their mama's womb, made up some new curse words, and they're just trying to just damage Keke's image. They just go get a job, okay? Word from the curb is that Beyonce may be returning to Las Vegas at that new venue called the Sphere. You know, it looks like a globe with like a trillion lights and show, whatnot. Well, if she gets the $10 million plus production budget that they did give to the rock group U2, who's performing there now, it could happen. It could happen. Well, Tyler Perry is out promoting his new documentary, Maxine's Baby. It's now on Amazon Prime streaming. And on The View recently, a few days ago, he broke down talking about it. So clearly he's working through some things. But if you want to know why he is the way he is, what he does and does not do, check out Maxine's Baby. Okay, now, after 17 years, Andre 3000 of Outkast, well, I should say formerly of Outkast, put out an instrumental Flute album. It should be interesting. I don't know. Now, you may remember the rapper, the DOC, Tommy B from back in the day. It's getting funky. It's getting funky. Well, it got real quiet after that record blew up. And the reason is because the DOC suffered a horrific car accident, and it affected and really damaged his vocal cords. But I hear now he's got new music coming out with the help of artificial intelligence. I don't know about that. Well, I do know that Tupac is a nominee for the 2024 Grammy Awards for the FX documentary Dear Mama. Word from the curb is Rihanna fans may be upset because her tour and new album may be yet again delayed by rumors of a third pregnancy. She's got the Irish twins. I guess she's going for Irish triplets now. And the explosive thing is Diddy, Cassie, the lawsuit already settled. Why she kept quiet for so long, but she got the filed the lawsuit, which is 35 pages right before the statute of limitations expired. Abuse is not love. Fame is not worth your dignity. I hope she and Puffy go on wherever they're going and get the help that they need. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. And don't forget to tune in each and every Sunday to This Is the G Podcast. And you can catch the Byrdwire on demand 24/7. Go to castropolis.net, the website. Happy Thanksgiving once again. Gobble, gobble.
What you watching this week, Tommy B?
The new Tyler Perry documentary, Maxine's Baby. The Tyler Perry story is streaming on Prime Video. And here's my take on it. Let's start with the positives. Tyler Perry is an incredibly accomplished filmmaker, actor, playwright, so it's no wonder Amazon MGM Studios thought he was worthy of a full-length documentary. The film looks amazing, is touching, boasts some serious star power, and of course it tells the incredible story of Tyler Perry, including insights into his family and shots of his beloved Atlanta. My only issue with this well-done Maxine's Baby doc is that sometimes it doesn't go far enough. Yes, we get to see Perry's journey from growing up poor to becoming a Hollywood powerhouse. We also get a glimpse at the father-son conflict, the struggles of being an outsider and being a black man in the film industry. Sometimes it seems to come across as more of a marketing piece, kind of like a Tyler Perry for Dummies. I think some of us were hoping for more depth and new insights into his life and career. This documentary seems firmly under the control of TP. Personally, though, I think the TP criticism does go a bit too far, considering what's going on with some of our moguls in public. We need more in our culture with good intentions. And you know what? He does deserve more than just a hit piece. So I'm glad it is what it is. It's a good thing it comes across as a fitting tribute to his mom and a love letter to his devoted fan base. So as we approach the holiday season, it's a good way to spend time with family and friends, especially those who appreciate the Madea experience over the years. It is something positive and uplifting. Let me know what you're watching. Go to castropolis.net and hit the people poll. Thanks, Syracuse Mike, Tonya B, Vi Talib, author and political analyst Harold Michael Harvey. Go check out his new book, y'all. It's out, haroldmichaelharvey.com. Thanks to the crew, Millennial Nick, Lady J, Regia, music by K-Dub, all those who help us make it happen every single week. And don't forget, each and every Sunday we go, not necessarily live, but you can stream us first. Links in our social media bio, or just go to castropolis.net. That's easy. Share us with a friend. Don't cost you nothing. And my big PSA for this week, y'all, the Daily is on holiday this week. The 5 minutes of news and knowledge to help you get through your day returns Monday after the holidays. So, but I will tell you this, for Black Friday, do me a favor, go buy a shirt. I might do a little bitty price cut. Maybe. But our 200th episode edition is available now. Go to castropolis.net. I like to call it the Bicentennial Edition. So just go there and support us, support the podcast, and buy a shirt. I appreciate you all for supporting the show each week. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, check us out during your travel, when you're having turkey dinner and all that with family. Go ahead and share the podcast. We appreciate y'all. And with that, episode 202 is in the can. Have a great week, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving, peace, and power to the people.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.